Hello there guys, welcome to Joker Laugh, and today we're going to make some spooky Halloween candles. Okay guys, so I went to my local food store and it's obviously the month of Halloween, and I managed to pick up two of these. So basically it's just a skeleton like hand with a bevel base there. Obviously they are designed to just put like one of those in, I suppose. Oh yeah, I suppose you could put a real candle in there, but it would get a bit messy. I wouldn't recommend that. So yeah, the only part of this I'm not a huge fan of is this spider. This spider's kind of cartoonish looking and obviously covered in sparkly glitter. Yeah, it's not to my liking. It's also got two eyes bulging out, which I think makes it look a little bit more like Kermit the Frog. But yeah, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. So I can see me cutting these off or grinding them down. Maybe scrape away all this glitter. I might repaint the spider, might do more work on the spider, I don't know. If I had me ultimate way, I suppose I would grind it all off and make it just a bone hand, arm. But I don't really want to spend too much time on this at the moment because it's just it looks like a quick 5-minute DIY job just to make it a bit better. So anyway, getting back on topic, got these two off-cut bits of just cardboard tube. They seem to fit okay-ish, not perfect, but okay-ish. But instead of throwing them away, I decided that they would make great candle, bases to a candle, I suppose. So the idea is I want to just use these. These fit inside nice. I'm going to be adding some hot glue around the top and let it drip to make it look like melted wax. I've got a bit of PVC plastic pipe here. Now this, at the bottom of these have little stuck out struts on the bottom. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, I don't know. But basically that fits in perfect. Okay, so this is going to act as a placeholder. So the idea is this is going to be cut smaller than this, so it's going to be cut about there, and then there's going to be just enough room to place one of them on the inside. It's not going to be level because I want it to make it look like the wax has melted a little bit, and then this is going to get hot glued to the base here, and then this is going to get added as well. I am thinking of either just grinding a little bit off the back so it fits and overlaps on these parts of where the knuckles would be, I suppose, so it would fit better. Or I'm also thinking about just making a clean cut up the back, maybe taking 1mm off, or maybe 2, folding it in a little bit and then fitting it on the inside of this, or use this ridge as a container, I suppose. So that'll go in, fit down. Obviously you're going to be displaying it this way, so you're not going to see this cut up the back, and conveniently I will put some hot glue over the seam to make it look like melted wax, so you're not going to see it. So yeah, so that's the basic build idea, so let's get cracking. So as you can see there guys, I have spent quite a long time scraping all that off there. So yeah, I hate doing stuff like that. Anyway, I've noticed that this leg has kind of demolded and gone a bit wrong, so that'll need a little bit extra with that needs to be reworked, so a bit of Aves epoxy on there maybe. Also, spiders' legs are always on the mid section, not on the back section, so in theory there should be a bigger, rounder, like back end, I suppose. So yeah, I can see me making some of those as well. Okay, so what I did there was I drilled 3 small holes in the shape of a triangle, so when I add some modelling clay to make the back part, basically it has these holes to hold on into, so it helps keep its place. I also went ahead and chipped away some of this resin that had warped and gone a bit wrong, and same again, I drilled 2 little holes so I can continue on with this leg. Exactly the same with this side, but obviously the leg's okay on this one. So yeah, so now that the holes are drilled, I'm going to go in with some air dry modelling clay to add some bulk from around the back of the bum area. Okay guys, so there's one of them done. Now with this being air dry modelling clay, it will shrink and it might warp a tiny bit and it probably will crack in some areas. Now this is only for bulk, so the reason why I went ahead and pushed all these little dots in wasn't to make like a texture, like to make hairs. That was basically so when this is hardened and fully dried, I can then go in with Aves epoxy modelling clay, which is this stuff here. It comes in 2 parts, part A and part B. You mix equal amounts, so 50% of A, 50% of B, and then roll it into a ball, and then obviously you can sculpt over. So this is basically just to add bulk, so it's just to fatten it up, and then once dry I can then go in with the better clay, which hardens a lot better, and then all these little holes that I just did, that'll help hold the clay in place. So yeah, so that's one of them done for now. So I'll go ahead and I'll make the other one to match. So there you go guys, so as you can see there, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for the first stage. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and leave this to dry, and then we'll start with the Aves epoxy. Okay guys, so while we're waiting for these two parts to dry, we might as well be making some progress on the actual candles themselves. So the best idea that I'm thinking is just make a clean straight line cut, then cut another little bit off to shave a little bit of an excess off to make like a 2mm gap, and then push the both parts in together and then see how they fit. Okay guys, so as you can see there, I ended up cutting off more than what I first anticipated, but once that's been glued together, and then as a seam run down the back, you're never going to tell that cut was there. So yeah, so at least the main candles are now fitting. Okay guys, so for the next part I'm thinking about running some glue along here. I'm leaning more towards maybe super glue rather than PVA or Gorilla Glue. So yeah, so regular super glue, and then I'm just going to put some elastic bands around to try and keep it in place. I'm only going to do the one because obviously if it doesn't work out, then I don't want to mess both of them up. So yeah, it's easier to do one, see how I get on, and then learn from my mistakes. Okay, so I went ahead and glued a off-cut piece, which is basically just one of the pieces that was off excess off the back. Put some glue on the inside, put it on the inside, and then just had two clips hold it in place. So leave this to dry, and then we'll see what it's like tomorrow. Okay guys, so the super glue worked, but I'm thinking about, for added security, I might paper mache around these just for that little bit of extra support, and also that'll help hide this seam as well. Okay guys, so I have a piece of cardboard to help protect this wood against just general dripping. PVA glue and some old newspaper, and then obviously the two cardboard tubes. So just general paper mache like you used to do when you were at nursery. Okay guys, so for the next part, I've rolled out a tiny bit of thin layer of Abe's epoxy. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of that to the back of these spiders. Okay guys, so there you can see that the back end has now been sculpted. Now I did re-sculpt some of the hairline, so obviously when it comes to dry brushing later on, that'll add some nice highlights. So as you can see, that the other one's matching as well. So we'll leave these to dry and then we'll crack on with the candles. Okay guys, so now that we've let the modelling clay or the Abe's epoxy harden on the back of the spider, and the paper mache candles is, or the paper mache on the candles is nice and dry. Now is the time to do a test fit to make sure that these still fit, because obviously even though it's only had 1 or 2 layers of newspaper, it still adds a little bit more. Yep, that fits fine, and yep, that one fits fine, so we're still good to go. Okay, so for the next part, what I want to do is, I know the size of the candles and I know the size of the lights, so I need to cut this, or measure this, and then cut this so it has something to sit into on the inside. So yeah, so let's crack on with that. Sand. Okay, so that is going to be glued in place. This is going over the top, and then this is sitting on the inside. So yeah, so I think that's looking good. So I'll crack on and do the other one, and then show you the finished results. Okay, so this one seems to still be a little bit too long, and it is a little bit slanted. So what I might do is I might go ahead and put this on the sander to take this edge off and take it down a couple of millimeters. Okay guys, so as you can see there, the sander took a little bit too much off. Obviously that was my mistake. So instead of cutting another piece of pipe, I decided to trim a couple of millimeters off the top of the tube. So as you can see, it fits a lot better, and as an added bonus, it's more or less very similar in size as this one. So yeah, so but with both the tapers in place now, it is looking a bit more better. So yeah, so I might go ahead and trim a tiny bit off the top of this, because this is nice and smoother compared to this, so I might make this match. and then I think it's probably time to start painting the spiders. Okay guys, so as you can see there, the second spider is now painted. So now we can crack on with the hot glue and the candles. Okay guys, so that's the hot glue on the candles put on. We'll just leave this to drip down naturally, let gravity be our friend here, let it do some work for us rather than against us for a change. And yeah, just leave that to dry, and then for the next part, while the hot glue is still hot, we'll go ahead and hot glue these onto the bases. Okay guys, so new idea. Unfortunately these would not glue perfectly in place. Now I could get around that by scratching up the inside of the resin to give something for the glue to connect to, I suppose, or to hold on to. But instead of doing that, a new idea is I am just going to go ahead and put some hot glue on the sides and then push them on up inside the candle themselves, and then we can maybe put some modelling clay in here and then push this down for a perfect connection later on. So for now, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue in here and help keep it in place. Okay guys, so as you can see there, I glued it from the inside as well, and then obviously on the inside of there. Now I might leave the bottom part clear. I won't put some glue in there. I won't put that in there. So basically this is made like a rough texture, so if I do add modelling clay in here, then when it pushes down, the modelling clay will go up in all the little nooks and crannies, and it'll help make it a perfect fit. So yeah, so for now we'll leave this glue to fully dry and harden, and then we'll get on to white priming. Okay guys, so now that the glue is nice and hard, now is the time to go in with a white primer spray paint. This is just sold by Wilco's. Okay, we'll leave that to dry and then we'll go in with a second coat. Okay guys, so the candles turned out pretty good. Now if you go really up close in detail, there is a few marks here from where obviously the paper mache clumped up, I suppose, or made the odd little mark, but that's only if you get really up close on the detail. From a distance it looks just like a wax candle. So for the next part, we're going to age this part of the wax, but we're going to leave the top part fresh. We're going to leave that white so that looks like it's freshly melted wax, where the rest of it looks like it's been aged a little bit. So the best way to do that is to just simply use a watercolour set, and then what we're going to do is we're going to probably use this khaki yellow here as a one-tone undercoat, and then once dry we might go in with a little tiny bit of brown in amongst all the little freshly melted bit of wax. So yeah, so let's crack on with that. Okay guys, so now that that's had a tiny bit of watercolour on there, now it's time to go in with a little bit of kitchen roll and just gently wipe off the excess. So there you go guys, so as you can see there, it gives it a nice aged look. Now you could go in with a little bit of a darker brown if you wanted to, but in this case I don't think it desperately needs it. So yes, I'll crack on with the other one and show you the finished results. Okay guys, so there we go, nice and aged. So we'll leave these to dry and then we'll give them a quick blast of matte varnish. Okay guys, so while the candles are drying from that watercolour, I thought now is a good opportunity to go in with some dry brush highlights on the spiders. So I'm going to use some Barely Black from Wilco's, just one of those tester pots. Nice stipple end brush. So what I'm going to do is get some of that rag that we just used for the watercolour yellow, and then I'm going to get some excess on the brush, dab it on this, so this is nice and dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry brush some of the spider. So I'll crack on with that one and then I'll do the other one and then I'll show you the finished results. Okay guys, so I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but as you can see, sorry about that, so as you can see there's a tiny bit of highlight to it. Now once that dries there'll be quite a difference. Okay guys, so while that's drying I'm going to do the same but with a tiny bit of a medium grey. This is titled Flintstone. Same again from Wilco's. Now the next part, you don't desperately need it, but I'm just going to add just a tiniest little highlight of meadow mushroom, again from Wilco's. Okay guys, so now that the spiders had some decent highlights added to it, I'm going to go back in with some regular black, and I'm going to add some eyes so the black stands out from the grey tones. Okay guys, so I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but the spider now has some eyes, so we'll leave that to dry, and then I might go over with a tiny bit of varnish over the eyes so they stand out. Okay guys, so for the next part I think I will go in with just a tiny little bit of brown watercolour in amongst all the little nooks and crannies at the top, just to add that little bit more depth. So there you go guys, so as you can see there, that it's added quite a bit of definition to the top of the candles. There's a little bit of overstainage happened on these parts of the melted wax, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint a little bit of the matte white into its lid, and then I'll go in with the paintbrush and I'll just top these back over. Okay guys, so for the next part I am going to go in with just some regular PVA glue, add it on the inside, and then put the candle in place and then leave them to dry. Okay, we'll leave them to dry. Okay guys, so the paint's now dry, and so is the glue, so it's all nice and solid. So for the next part we're going to go in with some matte varnish and just give it a quick once over. Okay, so we'll leave that to dry and then I think we're finished. Okay guys, so that's this project finished. I've gone ahead and inserted the two fake lights on the inside. I've lowered them down a little bit, so obviously it gives the illusion that it's burning from the inside out and fresh wax is dripping over the side. All been matte varnished, so it's the paintwork's nice and protected. So yeah, so this is the first Halloween build up, I suppose, or rework, repaint, refurbishment, whatever you want to call them. This is the first one. I do plan on making some more, so if you like these, please show your support. Please click that like button. Well, actually, you can do better than that. You can smash that like button. Don't forget to share on Facebook and Twitter, because it helps new people find my channel, which I'm always appreciative of. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe for more unique builds like this one, or these ones. And if you've got any comments, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.